Hello, class 4. Welcome to the third part of computer storage and memory device. Let's recapitulate first what we have read in our previous class. We have read about types of memory. There are three types of memory. First is primary, second is secondary, and the last one is cache memory. Primary memory is further divided into two types. One is RAM and another one is ROM. RAM stands for random access memory and ROM stands for read-only memory. Read-only memory is further divided into four parts, that is AMROM, PROM, EPROM and EEPROM. Today in our class we will read about secondary memory and cache memory. Okay, but first of all let's revise what is a primary memory. Primary memory is the main memory of the computer. It is volatile in nature. Let's revise what is volatile. Volatile means when you switch off your computer, the current data that you are working upon get lost if you not save that. It remains inside the computer. It holds only those data and instructions on which computer is currently working upon. So there are two types of primary memory. One is RAM and another one is ROM. Now let's discuss what is a secondary memory. Kids, secondary memory are the type of memory that is also known as external memory or non-volatile memory. Non-volatile means any data that you are working upon will never get erased if you switch off the computer system. External means that is outside the computer system. So the memory attached externally to store the data and information is known as secondary or external memory. Kids, these are used for storing data and information permanently. If you save any type of data, any type of information in any secondary memory, then it will be saved for a longer period until you delete it. Okay, kids, in secondary memory CPU doesn't have any direct access because they are used as input or output routine. For example, you have seen many pen drives. Pen drives are example of secondary memory. These are not permanently attached to the computer. So when you insert the pen drive onto your computer, then only CPU get access to that pen drive. That is secondary memory. There are other examples also. SD card, HDD. HDD stands for hard disk drive. Pen drive. CD stands for compact disk. Kids, there are also lots of characteristics of secondary memory. Just like these are magnetic and optical memory. It is also known as backup memory. It is used to store data for a longer time. But the speed of the secondary memory is slower than the primary memory. Now, a very important topic, that is difference between primary memory and secondary memory. First of all, you have to note down these differences in tabular form as shown in the video in your computer fair notebook, and then you have to learn it. So, let's discuss the differences. Primary memory and secondary memory. Primary memory is the main memory of the computer and secondary memory is the backup memory. CPU has direct access to this primary memory and CPU cannot access the secondary memory directly. A computer cannot run without a primary memory, but a computer runs without a secondary memory. Primary memory is much faster than secondary memory, and primary memory has limited storage than that of secondary memory. Okay, now let's move on. Cache memory. Kids, you are able to see a diagram that first box is CPU, then in between RAM and CPU there is a cache memory, then in hard disk. Kids, cache memory is lying between CPU, that is the microprocessor of the computer, and the main memory, that is RAM. CPU and RAM doesn't have the same speed. To maintain the speed and to maintain the accessible data information that is required by the main CPU, that is microprocessor, from RAM, there is need another memory that makes the transfer of data and information between CPU and RAM faster, that is cache memory. Okay, kids, historically, CPUs have always been faster than memories. In order to have a memory as fast as a CPU, it must be located on the CPU chip. A cache memory always located near a CPU chip. Okay, this makes the chip bigger and more expensive. By combining a small fast memory with a large slow memory, we can get the speed of the fast memory for the price of slow memory. The fast memory is called as cache. Okay, now let's learn what is the definition of cache memory. A cache memory acts as a buffer between the CPU and the main memory. Main memory means RAM. It is used to hold those parts of data and program which are frequently used by the CPU. Now, let's have a look upon the advantages. Cache memory is faster than main memory. Yes, it consumes less access time as compared to the main memory. It stores the program that can be executed within a short period of time, and it stores data for a temporary purpose. Now, we will discuss about storage devices. Kids, the hardware component that used to store and read data and information and objects are known as storage devices. Our computer, kids, uses two different type of storage devices. One is internal devices and other is external memory devices. RAM and ROM are internal storage devices, while CD, USB, flash drives, means the pen drives, are the external storage devices. You are able to see types of storage devices, right? One is primary storage device and the another one is secondary storage device. Primary storage device are those storage device which have smaller storage capacity and hold data temporarily, like RAM and cache memory. They hold data for a shorter period of time. Okay, now secondary storage device, these devices have large storage capacity and hold data permanently. They include CD, USB drive, etc. USB drive, in the sense we have read few minutes back about pen drive. Okay, so kids, in the next class we will do the exercises and some extra questions. Okay, till then, bye bye, take care, and don't go outside unnecessarily because coronavirus is killing everyone. Bye bye.